Assalamualaikum dear students. Hope you are well. I am your English teacher from my voice school and I am conducting class 9. So follow my instructions carefully. You should have your secondary stage English book 1 for class 9 and hold up answer. You have to be attentive during the class, and if you have any query relevant to the topic, then at the end of the class, you will be allowed to ask me the question in the chat box. During the class, I'll share a screen with you and you have to take this screenshot. Then after the class, you have to complete all the work. So today's topic of unit number 6 is gender equity. That is present in your book on page number 130, and in the language practice, the synonyms and the topic of use of sensor 4 that is present in your book on page number 144. So the unit is about the gender equity. What is gender equity? What does it mean? It is actually the process of being fair to men and women. Actually, gender equity puts the focus on justice regarding benefits and needs for men and women. Moreover, gender equity presents violence against women and girls. It is really essential for economic prosperity. Societies that value women and men as equal are safer and healthier because gender equity is actually a human right. But besides being a fundamental human right, is essential to achieve peaceful societies with full human potential and sustainable development. The dual meaning of the word gender equity presents both a challenge and an opportunity. A challenge because the distinction between gender equity and it is unclear to the most of the people up till now. But bringing clarity and purpose to this issue is an important step along the way for eliminating the gender equity gap. And the term what I used a couple of minutes before, an opportunity, because we now have the insight to open the eyes of individuals as to this distinction, thereby making it possible to move forward along the journey to gender equity in the workplace. So this is all about the discussion or the information about the gender equity. Now come on the language practice that is present on your book on page number 130, and the topic of language practice is synonyms and the use of sense and for that is present in your book on page number 144. Synonyms. The word synonyms or the definition of synonym is the word that have the same meaning of another word is called the synonyms. Now, the exercise that you have to do is present in your book on page number 144. Exercise number 1 is do the following exercise in your notebook or rewrite the sentences by replacing the synonyms given in bold with an appropriate synonyms from the 4 given options. Share your answer with your partner after both of you have completed your work. Sentence number 1. He is a brilliant carpenter. He has made a tall house with miniature furniture for every room. What you have to do in this exercise? Simply the word miniature that you are seeing in the slide that is in the bold letters. You have to find out the same meaning in the options that is present in your book on page number 144. That is option A, pretty, B, tiny, C, fresh, D, tall. So very first you have to think about it, that the what is the word that have the similar meaning of the word miniature. Is it clear? Miniature is the word that you have to find the meaning from the given options. So pretty, tiny, fresh, tall. What is the correct meaning of pretty, tiny, fresh, all? Is it similar to the miniature? So the correct answer is tiny. The word tiny, the meaning of the word tiny is very similar to the word miniature. Is it clear, dear students, that the word that is present in the sentence number 1 and that is present in the bold letters, you have to find the meaning of the similar words that is present in the options. Clear? Now sentence number 2. Mrs. Amjad gave the class a difficult assignment for chemistry. Here, the difficult is a word that is present in the bold. You have to find out the similar meaning of the given words. Free, B, easy. Option C, caring. Option D, hard. So the correct answer is hard, because the meaning of hard and difficult are the similar meaning. Now sentence number 3. My grandmother is old. She is about 90 years old. So old is present in the bold letter. What you have to do, simply you have to find out the similar meaning from the given words. Option A, elderly. Option B, crazy. Option C, charming. And option D, friendly. So the correct answer is elderly, because the meaning of old and elderly are the similar. Clear? Now, students, come on the sentence number 4. Our principal is very smart and slim. So now, in the sentence number 4, you have to find the similar meaning of the slim from the given words. That is present in the options. Option A, tall. Option B, thin. Option C, charming. Option D, strict. So the correct answer is thin, because the meaning of slim and thin are the similar. Clear? Now, sentence number 5. A stable government ensures that a nation will progress. So, here are the options in which you have to find the similar meaning of the word stable. Option A, friendly. Option B, steady. Option C, strong. And option D is outgoing. So, the correct answer is strong, because the meaning of strong and stable are the similar. There. Now come on the sentence number 6. Farzana is always ready to help the people in her neighborhood. Simply you have to look at the meanings that I've given in your book on page number 144, and you have to find out the similar meaning of the word help. Option A, teach. Option B, guide. Option C, assist. And option D, train. So the correct meaning is assist, because the meaning of help and assist are the similar. Clear? Now come on the sentence number 7. I feel drowsy after having rice for lunch. Option A, lazy. Option B, active. Option C, happy. And option D, sleepy. So what is the correct meaning that is similar to the drowsy? So the correct word is sleepy. Clear? Now come on the sentence number 8. The house next door has been vacant for 2 years. So what is the similar meaning of vacant? So you have to look at from the given words that is present in your book on page number 144. Option A, dirty. Option B, empty. Option C, robbed. Option D, painted. So the correct meaning is empty. Alright, please take a screenshot so it will be easier for you to doing the work on your book on page number 144. Now come on the next exercise, that is exercise number 2, that is also present in your book on page number 145. What you have to do in exercise 2, that is work with a partner and select the most appropriate synonyms to complete the following sentences. 3 synonyms are given in brackets at the end of each sentence, but only one is appropriate in the given context. Remember to use the full stop at the end of the sentence. So the sentence A is, this cup of tea tastes like tea flavored water. It is very dash. The option is weak, frail, and fragile. But the correct option is fragile, because this cup of tea tastes like tea flavored water. It is very fragile. Clear? Now look at B. If one wants to succeed in the exam, it is dash to study regularly, primary, important, and significant. And the correct answer is important. If one wants to succeed in the exams, it is important to study regularly. Now look at C. During the monsoon rains, the water in the rivers becomes very disordered, violent, or rough. So the correct answer is violent. During the monsoon rains, the water in the rivers becomes very violent. Look at D. The rains of Mohenjo-daro are dash. The options are old, past, aged. And the correct answer is old. The rains of Mohenjo-daro are old. Look at E. Pakistan is dash in minerals. There are three options are there: rich, wealthy, and affluent. And the correct answer is rich. F. My mother has to go to the NATA office because her ID card is no longer dash. There are three options: valid, authorized, and legitimate. So what is the correct word? D. The bangles her grandmother gave her are made of dash gold. True, correct, or real? And the correct answer is real, because the bangles her grandmother gave her are made of real gold. Clear? Look at sentence H. The teacher asked the students to remain dash as the class next door was doing a test. The options are still, quiet, noiseless. And the correct answer is quiet. That the teacher asked the student to remain quiet as the class next door was doing a test. Next sentence. This perfume has a lovely dash, odor, smell, fragrance. And the correct answer is fragrance. So it means this perfume has a lovely fragrance. Next sentence and the last. The entire staff in the office was full of dash for the new manager. Appreciation, admiration, and praise. And the correct answer is appreciation. The entire staff in the office was full of appreciation for the new manager. So please take a screenshot. And this exercise 2, is present in your book on page number 145. Hopefully you took a screenshot. Now come on the next slide. Exercise 3, that is also present in your book on page number 145. 4 words in the following set of 5 words are synonyms. One word is different. Circle the word that you think is different. After completing the exercise, you will work with the partner. So, in the first line, there are 5 words are there. That is friendly, agreeable, pleasant, decent, and amicable. You have to think about the word that is totally different from the 4 given words. So, the correct answer is agreeable, because friendly, pleasant, decent, and amicable have the similar meaning, but agreeable is totally a different word from that 4 words. Clear? Now look at next sentence. There are again 5 words: option, nice, choice, possibility, alternative. And the correct word that is different is nice, because the option, choice, possibility, and alternative have the similar meaning, and nice is the different word in these 4 words. Next line, next sentence: reasonable, rude, impolite, cheeky, and disrespectful. So which word is different? That is reasonable, because rude, impolite, cheeky, and disrespectful have the similar meaning, and reasonable is totally the different meaning. Now look at next sentence. Here again the 5 words: severe, serious, harsh, stable, and stern. Which word is different from these 4 words? Stable. Because actually the stable means strong. That's why the stable is different, and we have circled here. Next sentence: huge, large, enormous, mammoth, many. Which word is different? Many. In the next sentence: rubbish, garbage, garden, trash, refuse. There are 5 words again, and which word is different? It is garden, because trash, refuse, garbage, and rubbish having the similar meaning. Next sentence, polite, intelligent, smart, clever, and bright. Which is the different word? Polite. Because intelligent is smart, clever, and bright having the similar meaning. And polite is totally the different meaning. Next sentence, positive, vacancy, opening, clean, post. Which word is different? Clean. In the next sentence, mistake, correct, error, inaccuracy, and slip. So correct is the word that is the different from these four words because the mistake, error, inaccuracy, and slip having the similar meaning, and correct has a totally different meaning. In the next sentence, disease, ailment, wound, illness, and disorder. They are five words, but wound is totally having a totally different meaning because disease, ailment, illness, and disorder having the similar meaning. Please take a screenshot. That is exercise 3 present in your book on page number 145. Please take a screenshot. It will be easier for you for completing your work. Now, come on this use of since and for. Because there are two topics in this class, one for synonym and one is for use of since and for. Synonyms you have understood hopefully carefully. So since and for, what is since and for? Where we have to use since and for. The words for and since are used in sentences where the speaker actually wants to talk about something that started in the past and continued into the present. Is it clear that the words for and since are used in sentences where the speaker wants to talk about something that started in the past and continued into the present? So for is used when specifying the amount of time. It shows how long. Clear that we can use for. Where we can use for? When we want to specifying the amount of time. And since we can use when we want to specifying the starting point. Is it clear? Let's see the examples and exercises of since and for. So here very first we have to understand about the chart or the table of since and for. Since, as I told you before, that it shows the starting point, and for the duration of time, it means how long. Since we can use for since 2012, and now we can use for 4 years. So look at the column of 4. It denotes the period of time, number, and the time word. When we measure the duration of something or how long it lasts, it means for is using just to specifying the period of time, number, and the time word. Clear? It means when we measure the duration of something or how long it lasts, it has a start point and an end point and can be used in different tenses. For example, I studied English in Ireland for 2 years. For 2 years, it means we are measuring the period of time. I will be there for around 2 months. In this sentence also we are measuring the time. In the third sentence, we have been married for 14 years. In the third sentence, here again we are just measuring the time. Here again here are the options or the points that make you give you or that give you the more clear understanding about the use of for. For 10 minutes, it means we are studying for 10 minutes. That is the example of for using the 10 for. We are studying for 10 minutes. For 8 hours, she was doing the work for 8 hours. For 5 days, the example is they are waiting you for 5 days. For 6 months, for 3 years, for 2 centuries. It means these are the measuring of times, time words that is present in the word. The period of time, it means how long, the number of time, it means we can use for before the minutes, before the hours, before days, before months, before the years, and before the centuries, but in which we have to measure the period of time, the number of time, or the time word. For 10 minutes, for 8 hours, for 5 days, for 6 months, for 3 years, for 2 centuries. Like, I have been living in Japan for 4 years. That is example of using the for measuring the time. So, is it clear that when we measure the duration of something or how long it lasts, it has a start point and an end point, and it can be used in different tenses. Like I studied English in Ireland for 2 years. I will be there for around 2 months. We have been married for 14 years. Now it's time to discuss about the use of since. We can use since just to specifying the starting point, a time, a date. Like when something is started in the past and continues until now. For example, since is mostly used in the present perfect and perfect progressive tense. For example, he hasn't eaten since 7 o'clock. I have been working here since June. We have been married since 2002. It means here in these examples, we are showing or we are specifying the starting point, the time, and the date. It means we can, if we are using the starting point of something, a time and the date, then we have to use since before the starting time, point, and the date. Clear? Here again, some points we have since 8 o'clock. It means before starting time, we can use since 8 o'clock. Since Monday, since February, since 1982, since I left school, since the end of last century. So this is all about the use of since that you can use before 8 o'clock. It means before you mentioning or specifying the time, before specifying the day, before mentioning the months, before mentioning the year. Since I left school, since the end of the last century. Hopefully, you got the clear understanding about the since and for that where we can use since and for. Let's see the examples. Exercise 5 that is present in your book on page number 147. Work with a partner and discuss with which blanks in the following text will have since and which one will have for. After discussing, write the complete paragraph in your notebooks. My father is a remarkable man. He has been working since he was 15 years old. He has been working since he was at school. He used to work for 4 hours every day and on weekends. He has now worked in the same factory for 25 years. Since he started working at the factory, he has been promoted many times. He was initially hired for a period of 3 months, but he has been working there ever since. He was hired as a peon with the responsibility of making tea and delivering parcels and documents as required. He started working for rupees 25 a day. If he fell ill or if he was absent, he did not get paid for that day, but my father was a good and committed worker. He only took off for serious emergencies like illness and death. In fact, there were periods when he did not take a single holiday. for many months at a time. He soon earned the respect of his co-workers and boss, and since then he has risen higher and higher. He has now worked for the same factory for 25 years. He was offered retirement when he completed 25 years. Again, I want to repeat this slide. If he fell ill or if he was absent, he did not get paid for. If he fell ill or if he was absent, he did not get paid for that day. But my father was a good and committed worker. But my father was a good and committed worker. He only took off for serious emergencies like illness and death. In fact, there were periods when he did not take a single holiday for many months at a time. He soon earned the respect of his co-workers and boss, and since then he has risen higher and higher. He has now worked for the same factory for 25 years. He was offered retirement when he completed 25 years, but he said that he would like to work for a few more years. He hopes he will save enough to start a small manufacturing unit of his own in a few years' time. So that is a homework, home task. What you have to do simply you have to complete page number 144, 145, and 146, and that is the work of synonyms. And the work of since and for, you have to complete page number 147 and 148. These work, whatever I've shown you through the slides, you have to complete in your books, because in your books there are sufficient place for doing the work. Is it clear? Hopefully you got the clear understanding about the synonyms and the use of since and for. If you have any query relevant to the topic, then please ask me the question in the chat box. Stay home, stay safe. Wish you best of luck for the next class. Allah Hafiz.